Finally, yeah.
Who's that?
This is my daughter, Denise.
Hello, Denise. I'm Laura.
Say hello.
Hello.
Shall I pop you down?
Yeah.
Would you like to do some drawing?
Yes, please.
Oh, there's some crayons over there.
Oh, I've come to see your portrait of God.
Well, before I show you, what's your idea of God?
One thing is certain. God isn't like this. In fact, for me, God isn't like a person at all. He, or it, is more like an energy. It's the power of nature. The divine pervades the whole earth as the evolutionary force that drives everything to ever higher states of perfection. But it can't be a person. It's not conscious. And it doesn't think. We can't talk to it. I can think of God as the expression of the life force in us, as the dance in us. All creatures dance, and so do we. It's the life spirit. It's the poetic, mysterious, fascinating side of life. Call it spirit, or energy, or life force, or Tao. But I've come to understand that we shouldn't imagine God as if he were a supernatural person.
God is not a person as we are persons. There I fully agree. Well, God is not an invisible snowman who floats about in the world and gives attention to one individual after the other. That's where you're right. It is the creative power that supports everything that exists, including the force of evolution. That does not mean that God is blind, or unconscious, or incapable of communicating to us. God is personal, but not a person, as you or I are a person. God is personal because God has mind. God has much more mind than we have.
How do you know?
How do we know someone else has mind? When I was asked to paint her portrait, I wondered whether I would ever get to know her. She only spoke Gujarati. First, I learned a lot about her from her favorite things, from the objects she surrounds herself with. Then there is contact.
Chai piyoge?
Chai piyoge? Oh, so that means, would you like a cup of tea?
Yes, please.
Yes. Well, cheers.
Cheers.
Perhaps. We can never see someone's personality itself. That remains inside. But by our human contact, we discern a mind and a heart in the other. It's the eyes that speak most of all. What I try to capture in my portraits is a reflection of the inner person. I make it shine through in the face.
What's that got to do with God?
If intelligence exists, God must have intelligence. Otherwise, we, with our minds, would be superior to your so-called blind life force. In fact, God's intelligence must surpass ours immeasurably. In our own personality, each one of us reflects something of God. Everything that exists must somehow reflect the original creative energy. The emergence of mind and will and personality reflect such qualities in God. If we can know, God can. If we can relate, God relates. If we can communicate, God can communicate with us. After all, it is God who gives us a face and makes us what we are. We are made in his image. Then there is something else. Intuitively, we know the difference between a person and a thing. May I? There we go. Now, we relate differently to persons from relating to things. When we grow up, we become a person because other people begin to treat us as a person. We become a self, an I, because people say you to us. But when we analyze our individuality on a deeper level, we find that it relates not only to other people, because other people can fail us, or die, or leave us alone. What really makes us a self, an I, and our deepest identity is a relationship to the ultimate ground of our being. We're all somehow portraits of God, painted by God in infinite varieties. That's why we are right to imagine God with a face and talk to him, however human our words will be. And that is why God is personal.
Thank you.